So this is the start of article of the week. I'm going to show you how to complete one today. One of the big things you need to understand is that in order to do this, you need to actually be engaged in what you're reading. So your first article should be something you find a lot very interesting right now. Is half teens think they're addicted to their smartphones. Source Kelly Wallace from CNN, published May 3rd, 2016. You have four things you need to do. You need to mark your confusion, show evidence of a close reading, write a one-page reflection, and provide a half-paragraph objective summary on the article. Um, it seems like a lot, but you should be able to do this when it's signed on a Monday by Friday. The big thing is this has to be printed off and turned in to me on Friday for full credit. So to start off, I'm going to switch to my text tool. So the first thing I would do is I would go to the bottom, to the last page. I've given you here possible response questions such as do you have a cell phone addiction? Explain, and you would explain that using what you find in the article to back up that yeah, maybe you do have one or maybe you don't. Or you could choose a passage that you find interesting and just respond to that instead. Maybe you find a passage here that talks about parents and their cell phone addictions might be kind of interesting to talk about, seeing as your parents are the ones that typically tell you, hey, you have a cell phone addiction. The first thing I would do is I would go through and I'd start reading the article right after you looked at the questions. So it says, I don't have teenagers yet, but watching my 8 to 10-year-olds spend endless amount of time on iPads during spring break makes me worried about the day, hopefully years from now when they have their own devices. The first thing that I would do then is I would highlight this and this. And I'd write a comment here. So one of the things I could see is, this woman's talking about her 8 to 10-year-olds, and my experience being with you guys is that most students already have their own devices by 8th grade, whether it's a phone, iPad, what have you, tablet. So this is evidence of close read that you're already responding to things she's already written. Next paragraph, a new poll confirms just how much teens depend on their phones. Gives me even more to worry about. About 50% of teens feel they're addicted to mobile devices, according to the poll, which is conducted by for Common Sense Media, a nonprofit focused on helping children, parents, teachers, and policymakers negotiate media and technology. A large number of parents, 59%, said that their teens were addicted. The poll involved 1,240 interviews with parents and their children ages 12 to 18. Again, I'm trying to show you guys evidence of close read. The next big thing I would highlight would be this, that 50% of teens feel they're addicted to their mobile devices. And every time I highlight something, I want to make sure I have a comment as well. And then this is where you're starting to address your thoughts. My first thought is only 50%. That's a question that I'm asking the text. Maybe they go into it more, where they got these numbers from. We know that a poll was conducted by Common Sense Media. But I also have here that a large number of parents, 59%, said their teens were addicted. So I wrote that more parents think that their kids have an addiction to their phones than their kids do, which seems to better align with the belief that more than 50% of the kids, at least from what I understand, have an addiction. And you're going to continue doing this and annotating throughout the course of the article.